သွားပြီတော့ညဝင်နေအိုးဘယ်သူမှမမြင်ပါသေးနဲ့ကွာသွားပြီဟာ
Disaster strikes Myanmar. A powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake has devastated the region, leveling buildings, cutting off communication, and leaving thousands in desperate need of help. With its epicenter near Mandalay, this is one of the deadliest quakes in over a century. Entire communities are in ruins, and aftershocks continue to shake the country. The death toll is rising, and the government has declared a state of emergency. But with roads destroyed and rescue efforts struggling, the true scale of the disaster is still unfolding. From Myanmar to Thailand and beyond, this earthquake is being felt across Southeast Asia. Stay with us as we bring you the latest updates on this catastrophic event. The earthquake struck central Myanmar on Friday, the 28th of March, 2025, at precisely 12:50 p.m. local time, registering a magnitude of 7.7. It occurred at an unusually shallow depth of 10 kilometers, which significantly amplified the shaking intensity at the surface. The quake's epicenter was located about 11 miles from Mandalay, Myanmar's second-largest city, placing a major urban center directly in its destructive path. Due to its location near the Sagaing Fault, a known seismic hotspot, the quake's energy was transmitted over a wide area, affecting not only central Myanmar, but also sending noticeable tremors into neighboring regions such as Thailand and parts of China. The proximity of the epicenter to Mandalay meant that both the historic city and its surrounding rural areas experienced intense shaking, leading to significant damage and high casualty figures. Early official reports from Myanmar's military government indicated that at least 144 people had died, and around 732 were injured in the immediate aftermath of the earthquake. These figures were based on data released shortly after the disaster struck central Myanmar near Mandalay. However, subsequent assessments and reports by international news agencies have suggested that the true toll is likely much higher. Some later estimates have indicated that the death toll in Myanmar may have surpassed 1,000 fatalities, with injuries numbering over 2,300. This discrepancy reflects the immense challenges faced by rescue teams and the authorities in accessing and accurately surveying heavily damaged and remote areas, especially given the disruption of communication and transportation networks. In addition to these national figures, regional impacts have also been noted. For instance, in neighboring Thailand, where a high-rise building in Bangkok collapsed, authorities confirmed several deaths, with 8 of the 9 reported fatalities linked to the collapse, and many workers remain trapped in the debris. Overall, while the initial numbers reported were 144 dead and 732 injured, ongoing rescue operations and the extensive damage throughout central Myanmar have led to fears that both figures will continue to rise as more remote or inaccessible areas are reached and as further assessments are completed. In the immediate aftermath of the quake, Myanmar's military junta, led by Min Aung Hlaing, took extraordinary steps to address the crisis. In a rare public appeal, he warned that the death toll was expected to rise and urged any country, any organization to send assistance. This appeal is notable given the junta's usual isolation and reluctance to accept foreign aid. The government declared a state of emergency across its 6 worst affected regions, including Sagaing, Mandalay, Bago, Magwe, parts of Shan State, and the capital, Naypyidaw. State television broadcasts stressed that blood donations were urgently needed as hospitals in these areas faced overwhelming numbers of patients. In Naypyidaw, where buildings sustained significant damage, injured patients were being treated outdoors due to compromised infrastructure. Local officials reported that rescue efforts were severely hampered by damaged roads and disrupted communication network. Despite receiving calls for help from inside collapsed buildings, limited manpower and machinery have delayed debris removal and rescue operations. The junta's call for aid comes at a time when the country is already grappling with a prolonged humanitarian crisis, exacerbated by ongoing civil conflict and restricted access for journalists and international relief teams. The government's response has been characterized by both an urgent internal mobilization and a plea to the international community, reflecting the unprecedented scale of the disaster. In Myanmar, the destructive impact of the quake has been devastating. Local media and eyewitness accounts report that several areas, including Mandalay, Taungoo, and Ongban, have suffered heavy losses. In Mandalay, located near the epicenter, many multi-story apartment blocks have collapsed, with a rescue worker in Amarapura estimating that around 1/5 of the buildings in some parts of the city have been destroyed. At least 30 bodies have already been recovered from these collapsed structures, and local reports indicate that casualties in the city and its surroundings are mounting. Hospitals in Naypyidaw, Myanmar's capital, have been overwhelmed by hundreds of injured people, many of whom are being treated outdoors due to significant damage to the healthcare facilities. Social media footage emerging from central Myanmar vividly shows large numbers of buildings either completely collapsed or severely damaged, further complicating rescue efforts. In addition to residential structures, critical public and religious buildings have also been hit hard. Historical sites and local mosques have collapsed or sustained severe damage, contributing to the high casualty figures reported. Critical infrastructure, such as roads in Mandalay and Naypyidaw, has buckled under the quake's force, further complicating rescue efforts. At Naypyidaw International Airport, footage showed people racing through dusty, debris-filled corridors as they sought safety. With communication networks down and transport disrupted, relief agencies fear it may take weeks before the full extent of the destruction is known. Mohammed Rias, the regional director of the International Rescue Committee, stressed that the quake could displace thousands and leave many in urgent need of food, shelter, and medical care. He highlighted the significant challenges facing rescue teams in navigating a landscape where both modern and traditional structures have been severely damaged. By integrating all these solid pieces of information, it is clear that the 2025 Myanmar earthquake has caused widespread devastation across central Myanmar and neighboring Thailand, intensifying an already dire humanitarian situation in a country under prolonged conflict.